what's your definition on freedom?
So, and this is like, if I ran for office, which depending on how things go, I would probably be I don't know what party I would run from, because from a financial perspective, I'm definitely more Republican, meaning more personal responsibility. And we could say, to answer your question about freedom, I think it's helpful, though it isn't perfect, it is helpful to look at it like this. And this was by design, going all the way back to our forefathers. The Republican Party tends to advocates on behalf of personal responsibility, meaning it is up to the individual to change their life, not the government's. And there's certainly some fair accusations against the party based on what gets favored in that, right? And it's like, I can see why people would be frustrated with some of that. But generally, the belief system and the value system is around personal responsibility. The Democratic Party tends to be around social responsibility, and it's the government that should be mandating and controlling these things. We're going to regulate ourselves into morality. Let me help you. If you need laws to enforce morality, you're in big trouble. Morality should be reflected in the laws, not forced by the laws, right? And then you create a whole other set of issues to go with that. But to be clear, the reason it's set that way is because a healthy system, there is a good balance between social responsibility and personal responsibility. They both should play, right, in a healthy system, because there is a social aspect. I believe the more wealthy and abundant we become as a nation, the more responsibility we have to help those who are not, right? The problem is you can't help someone who does not help themselves. The whole system collapses under that shit, and we've seen it over and over and over again. So what's the answer? Education. Education is the answer. You have to help those who are helping themselves first. And when we create entitlements for people who don't know how to help themselves, they learn how to live off the system, and that's all they know. I remember 6-7 years ago, there was a woman that was being interviewed, and she got married, and she became famous for a day because in her prenup, she had done something where she had got her welfare check maxed out. And her response was, I worked hard for that shit. In other words, I'm protecting this in this prenup to keep anyone from getting to this. That's humanity on so many levels. Okay, so what is freedom for me? Freedom is the ability to choose who I love, who I marry. Freedom is the ability to choose what I put in my body. Don't tell me what to do with my personal autonomy. Now, I am responsible for my personal autonomy, meaning if I put something in my body that harms someone else, that's on me. I'm responsible for that. The way the government works is it generally treats symptoms of problems, not the underlying issues, and it's solving for stupid constantly, which what it does is it ends up working against freedom. Freedom is fucking messy, because when you give people the ability to be free, you give them the ability to fuck things up. And so as much as we like to say we love our freedom, most people would have security over freedom, especially if you came from countries that you never had real freedom. You don't understand the value of freedom. So I'd rather have a system that protects me and keeps me feeling secure, which in fact is a lie. No system can make you secure. They may make you feel secure. They can't make you secure. That's your responsibility. So my general rule of freedom is I get to buy what I buy. I get to build the businesses that I want as long as I'm not impeding on other people's freedom, which is where the religious folk get frustrated with me, because I don't think it's anybody's right to tell somebody who they marry or who they date or what they ingest. Fuck you. Stay out of my life, right? But then the left doesn't like me because I'm like, fuck you. You can't tell me what I can say and what I can't say. You can't force us to call somebody by a name or a title or whatever. Fuck you. It's the same shit. It becomes tyranny where we're against free speech because I don't want to be offended. Like, that's the weak ass society we live in right now. Don't just tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what makes me feel good. Oh yeah, that's going to work. That, of course, is the path to the dark side.